What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Okay. Making their debut on the channel tonight. We have Zazen Boys. Yes, indeed. How about that? Zazen Boys making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles, and this is actually Charles's prioritized request for the month of July for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this song by Zazen Boys called Cold Beat. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hang on, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Matsuri Studio, okay? And the video has 1.3 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Zazen Boys. Hanoshi Cold Beat. 7/19/2018. All right, I was told to start at 5:23, which is where we're at. I'm supposed to end at the end of the video. Just let it run. So we'll see how this goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Yeah.
聞こえてくるのはワン、ツー、ワンタステッパ。予感ヒリヒリする直感、第六感が騒ぎ出す夕暮れ時間、気づいたら便所の窓から覗く幽霊、うっすらぼんやり消えていくどっか向こうの暗山で夜に定まって見たね山ん中集会に参加すぐネクトサルトドング首ハービー首ハービー首ハービー予感ピリピリくる直感第六感が暴れ出す深夜の実感人玉が見えた今後ろへばりついたなぜだかわからんがあまり恐怖を感じなかったエレクスのものあって冷めたれのに光ぼんやり立ちながらエレクスのものあって首コルビ予感ピリピリくる直感第六感が調子いい朝焼け時間テレンストレントダービーの T シャツ見たなんかの履いたやつが俺の前ぼんやり通り過ぎた今日もなんかにする今日もなんかにする今日もなんかにする
Okay. They're playing in 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and but they're putting the accents So on the and of 2. No. The E of 2. What do you do? Yeah, it's on the E of 2. Wow. It's given it a really weird feel, but it is in 3. It's in 3/4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's all about that accent placement. It's all about that subdivision. It's interesting. It's giving it a really interesting feel. I like it. I do like it. Very. I won't go as far as to say funk, but it's definitely got that it's got a bit of a funk feel, but it's more of a modern jazz type of a feel mixed with a little bit of funk. Kind of like it was the first one that comes to mind. Michael Brecker. Honestly, Michael Brecker is the first one that comes to mind. Maybe Miles Davis a little bit, but more in a more modern feel. But a lot of the same approaches, especially when it comes to the subdivision that Miles would do. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Let's keep going here. Let's see how this goes.
Come on, I'm gonna stop. Call me, call me, call me, call me, call me, yeah, 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 call me.
Hey! Man, the subdividing in this is just stone cold, man. They are just so tight. They're absolutely locked in with each other. They're still watching each other for visual cues. In particular, the guys in the back are watching the guy up front. I mean, and that's to be expected, you know, just to make sure. Listen, the more tools at your disposal that you utilize, the better the chances are that you're going to stick together. So if you just use your ears, look, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just using your ears. But if you use your ears and your eyes, now you've doubled up your chances of coming together and staying on top. You know what I mean? I think it's smart. I mean, I do the same thing. We always, you know, we'll look at each other for visual cues when we need to. So there's nothing wrong with that. The bass playing, the popping and slapping. I'm more impressed by the fact that he's playing as accurately as he's playing with these humongous windups that he's doing with his hand. I mean, he's pulling his hand almost a full foot away from his bass and coming back and hammering on it. Dear Lord. As far as what he's playing, the popping and slapping, it's octaves. It's octave, you know, root octave, moving up to the third octave, third octave, back to the root octave, root. Boom, I mean, it's octaves. That's all it really is. but it's number one, it's incredibly fast. Number two, it's that humongous windup. I'm really wondering how he can be so accurate with that huge windup, but he is. He's absolutely being accurate, so that's not a slight against him at all. I'm actually kind of impressed that he can wind up as much as he is. The drumming is tight. Everything sounds really tight. Let's keep going here. Look at the eyes.
O-L-D-B-A-T ズボッとはまったコールドビーコールドビーコールドビーコールドビーSave up. Go to
Yikes. Dear Lord. That was interesting. It was interesting. How this is going to translate to a score, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. Let me think about it. I got to think about a couple of things. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Zazen Boys with Cold Beat. This was a request from Charles, and this was actually Charles's prioritized request for the month of July for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Charles. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. I thought about it. I'm really glad I did because I had a knee-jerk reaction to give it a score, and I'm really glad I took some time to think about it, really analyze it, and really break the song down to its fundamentals, and I could really take a look at the song for what it really is.
Break it down!
And I'm glad I did because the score I was going to give it on the knee-jerk reaction was significantly different than the score I ended up giving it. Now, does that mean that the score I'm giving it is higher or lower than that knee-jerk reaction? Does it matter? I mean, really, does it matter? It could be higher, it could be lower. It doesn't matter because this is the score I'm giving it. Do not ask me what the original score was. It doesn't matter what it was, okay? This is where we are now. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.5. Yep, 8.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, at its core, the song is really good. And I use that term loosely. That entire song, when you really listen to it, it's one riff. It's seriously, it's not even one riff, it's one measure. And they are playing that one measure over and over and over and over as far as the song itself goes. The structured part of the song is a measure that they repeat over and over and over. No deviation from it. No evolution whatsoever. it's a cool riff. I mean, the fact that they wrote this song in 3/4, that's pretty cool. And the way that they subdivided the measure to give the accent was on the E of 2 E, and 1 E and 2. It was really cool, man. It really was. It made it feel completely different than your straight ahead 3/4, but if you count it, I mean, you can't help but lock into a 3/4 count with it. You just can't. It absolutely lines up. I was thinking for a little bit 6/8, but I was like, no, it doesn't have that that triplet feel. It doesn't have that. It's very straight ahead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, and so I was like, it's got to be 3/4. That's how I'm seeing it. Now, I could very well be wrong, but it feels to me like it's 3/4. It really does. If anybody else thinks they've got evidence to the contrary, that's great. I'm glad you do. And listen, music's always going to be open to interpretation. Maybe someone feels that it's 6/4. Maybe someone feels that it is 6/8. I mean, and that's wonderful and that's great. I would love to see the sheet music for this personally, and I would love to see what this really is. I'm kind of curious. The song as a whole on its own really is not that impressive, though. It really isn't. It's literally a measure, one measure that they riff on and they vamp on for the entire part of the structured song. Now, there was a lot of freeform going on, a lot. And the reason I'm saying there was a lot of freeform is if you watch this performance, watch the drummer, watch the bass player, watch the rhythm guitar player, or the lead guitar player. I'm not sure if he's rhythm guitar or lead guitar. Their eyes were glued to the guy up front. They were absolutely glued to him, watching for those cues. One to stop, one to come back in, one to stop again. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean? They were absolutely in sync together, but that equates to a lot of free form. At that point, they are complete. Their time signature at that point becomes non-existent. And you really have to rely 100% on the leader, whoever the leader is, because they're going to dictate everything. Okay? And when they went into that freeform part, they were tight. They were, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were tight through the whole song, okay? But when it got to the freeform part, they were super tight. I mean, they were absolutely locked in with each other. All eyes on the leader with their peripheral vision watching for each other. And like I said, during the reaction, when you're utilizing just your ears, you're utilizing one tool, and that's great. But when you're able to utilize your eyes and your ears and you're able to watch each other, you've doubled your chances of staying together, which, obviously was needed here. The other thing that I was going to comment on, there were two other things I was going to mention. The guitar, not the guitar, but the bass playing. I talked about this during the reaction. What he was playing was not necessarily all that impressive. He was all he was doing was playing octaves. He was playing root to 8, root to 8, root to 8, moving up to the third. Now the third's the new root, right? Root to 8, root to 8, root to 8, back down to the original root, root to 8, root to 8, root to 8. That's all it was. That's literally all it was octave jumps on the popping and slapping. That's not hard to do, but his technique, I gotta say, that was pretty impressive. I don't know how he did that, man. I don't know how he was able to wind up. Seriously, winding his thumb up like a full foot away from the bass this far and come back and hit it as accurately as he was doing. It's sloppy as hell, but at the same time, it's super impressive because he was pulling it off cleanly. So, gotta give him credit for that. The drumming on this, that was fun. I think I had the most fun watching the drummer, boy. The drummer was putting in work. He was absolutely working the sweat up. And he was fun to watch, man. He was, and his drumming was tight. His drumming was absolutely tight. Loved the fill work he was doing, especially in the freeform section, man, where he was just going off. And when it came time to choke, boom, he choked. He absolutely choked that cymbal, stopped it on the dime. I gotta give him credit. You absolutely gotta give him credit. So, yeah, I mean, it was a really nice song. I would give the song on its own about a 7.8, somewhere in there, but seeing all the things that I got to see, the locking in with the free with the stop time stuff and the freeform stuff, watching the drummer just put in the work and watching the bass player commit a hate crime on his strings by winding up a full foot away before coming back and thundering down with that thumb. Man, that was fun to watch. It was. And it was very impressive to see. So that's how we're going from a 7.8 up to an 8.5. So I feel good with that score. That's where we're going to stay. Before you ask, no, the 7.8 was not the knee-jerk reaction score. I'm saying I would give the song on its own a 7.8, okay? That's not the knee-jerk reaction score, though. Do not ask me what it was. I will not tell you. So 8.5 is where we're at. 8.5 is where we're going to stay. 8.5, final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.